The way how you should be approaching learning English depends a whole lot on what your current level is. In this video, we will discover the best approaches if you are an intermediate level learner. Now, all of these tips and tricks that I will give you in this video are based on researching thousands and thousands of Speakly learners throughout several years. Hence, do the same things that our most successful learners are doing, and you will be successful in your English studies as well. As an intermediate level learner, for you, the name of the game is actually starting to use the language and putting into practice the language skills that you have acquired. And for you, we can point out 3 crucial areas which you would need to integrate into your daily English studies. These 3 crucial elements for intermediate level English learners are: 1. Learning fewer new words per day. 2. Immersing yourself into the language even more. And 3. Starting to get friendly with grammar. Now, let's discuss all of these 3 elements one by one so you would understand how to integrate them into your daily studies. What we see based on years of researching language learners is that for most learners, getting better in a language equals knowing more and more new words. So there is an idea of the more words I know, the better I speak the language. And yes, while it might sound logical, such an approach is actually inefficient and it might be holding you back in actually starting to speak the language. But why is that? The answer actually lies in a very simple mathematical truth. There is only a small number of words and sentences that we use on a daily basis to cover all of the situations where we need to manage in the foreign language. Now, you probably know by now that Speakly is using such an approach that it teaches you only the most important words and sentences of the foreign language in the order of their importance. So, for example, what we know from language research is that if you know the 300 most important phrases of the language, it will cover 40% of the situations which you might encounter in your real life. When you know 1,200 most common words and phrases, this percentage will raise to 70. And if you already know 4,000 of the most important words and phrases, you will basically have all of the vocabulary that you will ever need to manage in any real-life conversation. So strangely enough, and I know it might sound weird, intermediate level learners usually know most of these most important words and phrases. Hence, learning new additional words is not so efficient at all. So instead of learning additional new words every single day and emphasizing this as the centerpiece of your language studies, you should be using and putting into practice the knowledge that you already have. And that's exactly the reason why Speakly also emphasizes other exercises like live situations and listening exercises, and even listening to the music recommendations in the foreign language, instead of adding more and more additional new words into your memory. So as an intermediate level learner, yes, you can continue improving your vocabulary, but study around 5 new words every single day and focus most of your learning time into things that are more efficient for you, like dealing with daily listening, which is crucial for your English learning success. Now, daily listening is crucial on all levels. It's even super important to start listening to the foreign language, even if you don't understand a word. It's even more so important for intermediate level learners who already have the foundations of the language in place, and they need to start activating this knowledge. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, most intermediate level learners feel that to improve their language skills, they need to acquire more and more new words because then eventually they will have a better language level. This is actually a vicious cycle because they study new words all the time, but they don't activate the things that they already know, and they don't put it into practice. But what does this all have to do with daily listening? Well, everything. Because the speakly listening exercises have been created in a very specific way. They contain the most important words and sentences of the language. Hence, if you are listening to the speakly listening exercises on a daily basis, you will surround yourself with the same knowledge that you already have, and it will activate your language skills. Now, it might come as a surprise to you, but daily listening actually helps to improve both your comprehension skills, but also your speaking skills. Now, daily listening is the most important study element for you as an intermediate level English learner. Don't skip it. And the best way to do your daily listening is to select one single speakly listening exercise and listen to this one exercise 5 to 7 days in a row, once or twice per day without changing the exercise. This will give the most optimal results. As you're now on the intermediate level, it's a good time to start diving into the grammar of the English language a little bit more as well. As you probably know by now, on the beginner level, I don't recommend learners to dig into grammar almost at all, because based on research, we see that this would just demotivate learners and they would likely not continue their studies. But even so, it's important to keep in mind that even on the intermediate level, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything that is in the grammar book, for example. Now, if you are studying with Speakly on a daily basis, just go through the grammar section that we have on each study card, and that's totally enough. It will have things like affirmation, negation, question forming, different tenses, and so forth. If you go through all of this, it will be already enough. As you're now on the intermediate level, it's time to dive into grammar a little bit more as well. But don't pick up a random grammar book. Just continue studying with Speakly and open the grammar section on each study card, go through the grammar section, read through, and just memorize everything that we have described for you there. And this will be enough to make sure that you're successful in your studies.